Welcome back. I'm so happy to have you here. Do you feel distance in your relationship? And no matter how hard you try to close that gap, nothing really changes? You're the one checking in, trying to talk, trying to fix things, trying to make it better. And no matter how much you do, you still feel that distance. And it hurts. You keep thinking, if I try a little more, if I show how much I care, maybe we'll feel close again. I've thought those exact thoughts. But what if the problem isn't that you care too much? What if all the trying, all the giving, all the effort is actually creating more distance instead of closeness? Because here's the truth: trying harder won't close the distance, caring more won't close it either. But this will. In this episode, I'm going to show you why trying harder can quietly push connection away and what to do instead so that you can stop feeling like you're carrying your relationship and start feeling close and connected. Hi, I'm Sabrina Phoenix, and this is the place for smart, strong, successful women who are done doing everything in their relationships. They're done shrinking and playing small and ready to finally experience healthy, thriving relationships without losing themselves. I see this all the time. Smart, successful women notice and they feel the pain of this gap. And I've lived this too. I did the same thing. You feel the distance, so what do? You try to close that gap by doing more, giving more, caring more, fixing more. You think if I love harder, if I show up more, if I prove I care, he'll come closer. But the more you pour in, the more exhausted and hurt you feel. I remember being in a relationship where I thought caring more would fix everything. I'd adjust, I'd auto accommodate, I'd check in, I'd try to make things better, I tried to fix the problem. But what I didn't realize was I was trying to close the emotional distance with effort. And the more I poured in, the more alone I felt. Caring too much isn't the problem. It's automatically giving. It's automatically accommodating. It's not requiring effort, care, and love in return. It's not choosing when to give and when to receive. It's not speaking up for what you want and need. It's like think of a faucet fully turned on, right? It's like your care, your love, your effort, your energy is always on. And caring is beautiful. I don't want you to shut that off. We just don't want it running on autopilot. We want to choose when, how much, and who we pour into. And we also need to ask for our own wants and needs to be met too. What's typical that's been modeled to us on rom coms, right? And probably your relationships is that you saw your mom, your grandma, when they're pissed, they distance themselves, right? When a woman gets upset, she distances herself and then gets angry and she becomes harder. Okay, so I'm telling you, don't do what you see in the movies and what you see around you. I don't want you to do that. Okay, so don't become harder. I want you to become choosier. Become choosier. Okay, so here's the truth. All right, if you keep pouring into your partner, you care more, you try more, you give more, but it's not working. Okay, this is because you're trying to close the distance by doing, fixing, giving, caring. And instead of closeness, it actually feels like pressure, even if your intention is love. So if you're sitting there thinking, this is exactly what I'm doing, I'm trying so hard and nothing is changing. I just want us to feel close again. I'm actually creating something right now to help women reset this dynamic in their relationships, not by trying harder, not by giving more, but by shifting how you show up so the connection can feel close and deep again. So, and you don't pull away in a mean way, you don't pull away in an angry way, you pull your focus back onto yourself. You notice your effort and care isn't being reciprocated. So you pour that energy back into your life, your peace, your growth, and you give the relationship space to breathe again. Distance allows him to come towards you, but you stop overpouring to try to make closeness happen. Okay. What typically happens is we feel the distance and we start getting anxious and we start doing more and doubling down. And it's so counterintuitive. And I meet so many women that are struggling with this. They're trying so hard to fix that gap, but nothing's working. I have been in this situation and it is really painful no matter how hard you try, no matter how much you give, no matter what you do. Okay. It's not going to fix that gap. Instead, you notice it's not working and you're willing to try something different. So a secure woman still cares deeply. She's still loving, she's still warm, but she chooses where her care, love, time, and energy goes. She doesn't give automatically. She doesn't pour without being met. She becomes self led. She chooses who gets her time, who gets her energy, who gets her love, and how much. She doesn't become harder, she becomes choosier. When you stop trying to close the distance by doing more, you come back to yourself. And that's when everything starts to shift. When you step back, he can step forward. This is what we want. And my podcast was the number one self abandonment podcast on FeedSpot. How cool is that? So, yay, mini celebration. So, what are you guys struggling with? What's going on in your life? If you have any questions, I go live Fridays at 2 or 3 Central. I'm more than happy to answer any relationship questions that you have. I love being there for you guys. And if you guys want one on one, like more in depth help, go to sabrinaphoenix.com. Check out my latest podcast episode. I'll show you how you can feel happy, loved, whole. It's feel loved no matter what your relationship status is because I got you. Okay. I got you. You deserve to feel loved every day. All right. You guys have an amazing day. Bye.